Hey everyone, Mr. Piano Tech here, and today I'm going to show you how to choose a piano tuner. Okay, so first there are three different types of piano service professionals. You have the piano tuner, the piano technician, and the piano rebuilder. So first, a piano tuner is the piano service professional type that's most often referred to. So their primary focus is house calls, and they may do some minor repair and regulation as well, but typically a piano tuner just makes house calls. And someone that advertises themselves as just a piano tuner, I wouldn't recommend to call upon for like a restoration job or any major sort of repairs. In fact, I've gotten called out to a lot of jobs where they have a regular piano tuner, but the piano needs restoration or a lot of repair work. And I do that work and then I hand it back over to their regular piano tuner. So yeah, piano tuner primarily just tunes pianos. They may or may not do some other smaller repairs or, like I said, regulation work. But typically their focus is in the field, in people's homes, and they typically don't bring anything back to any sort of shop or do any sort of major repair or restoration work. So next we have the piano technician. Now in my experience, this is the most common type of piano service professional out there. The piano technician offers a wide range of services from tuning to regulation, repair, voicing, that sort of thing. Now when I'm speaking to customers or potential piano customers, I often refer to myself as a piano technician, although I do a fair amount of restoration work. Usually a technician does everything just shy of restoration work, leaving that type of work to technicians that specialize in that area and that have the workspace and the knowledge to perform those services with professional results. And lastly, we have the piano rebuilder. Now the piano rebuilder will typically spend most of his or her time in the shop. They don't typically go out to homes and do house calls, although they may occasionally. These people focus on piano rebuilding, piano restoration jobs, restringing, refinishing, that sort of thing. Essentially restoring a piano to what it was originally or even better than the condition it was when it was originally built. So it's important to understand these different designations when looking for a piano tuner or a technician or rebuilder. If it's not clear what type they are on their website or advertisement, just ask them. Technicians are aware of these designations and they'll be able to tell you what type of work they do and what type of work they don't do. So how does one go about hiring a tuner, technician, or rebuilder, one that produces professional results and that won't damage your instrument? I recommend these 4 different ways. So the number one way I recommend is by word of mouth. So ask family, friends, colleagues, other musicians in the area and see who they use. So the best commodity a technician has is a happy customer, and happy customers are more than willing to recommend them to other people. And it's also important that through word of mouth, through family, friends, and other musicians or colleagues, they can also tell you who to stay away from. So the second way, maybe you're new to the area or you don't know anybody that has a piano or that's a musician. In this case, I would highly recommend calling local institutions, so schools, concert halls, churches, music stores. Typically these places can recommend a technician for you. So third, maybe there's not a technician that anybody could really recommend, or you want to make sure that they're an RPT or registered piano technician through the Piano Technicians Guild, and you can find a technician on their website. So if you go to ptg.org, and if you look up into the right side of that web page, there is a tool you can click on to locate a registered piano technician in your area. So once you click on this, you'll be brought to a search page where you enter your zip code, and this will then show you a list of any RPTs or registered piano technicians in your area. So the Piano Technicians Guild was formed in 1957, and at the time it was a merger of 2 different organizations, the American Society of Piano Technicians and the National Society of Piano Tuners. So there's 2 different types of membership one can have in the PTG. So the first is an associate membership, and the second is a registered piano technician, abbreviated as RPT. So if you see RPT after someone's name, that simply denotes that they are a registered piano technician with the Piano Technicians Guild. So someone that has become an RPT has gone through a testing process. Now the tests that are given to someone that wants to become an RPT can be very rigorous. There are tuning exams, regulation exams, and also repair examinations. These are very difficult tests to pass. And someone that's become an RPT just has shown that little extra bit of commitment to the trade and has kind of gone above and beyond, in my opinion, to become the best technician they can be for themselves and for their customers. Now, another reason why someone being an RPT is important, in my opinion, is that there's very little to no regulation of our trade. So there's no local, state, or federal licensing like you would have in, let's say, like a contractor that comes to do work at your home. So the RPT designation within the PTG is the closest thing that we have to any sort of monitoring and regulation of any sort of the standards that a piano technician should have. So becoming an RPT may not be required, but to me it's a very personal thing. So someone that's become an RPT has, that shows themselves and their customers that they've kind of gone above and beyond and spent a lot of time and study and effort to become the best technician that they can be. Now that being said, not all RPTs are created equal. There's some good ones and some not so good ones. There are some technicians that are RPTs that just aren't very good at business and customer service. And there's a lot of technicians who are not an RPT who do excellent work and are excellent technicians. And actually, I'll let you in a little secret. When I first became a technician and was first working in the field, I did go take the examinations and failed miserably. And it was quite a few years later before I took a little more serious and did a lot of preparation work and passed with a very high score. So like I said, it can be a very personal thing for a technician to want to be an RPT. It's not required. Some technicians, like I said, are great technicians, and for whatever reason they just don't want to take the exam and it's just not that important to them. So I wouldn't base a technician's qualifications solely on whether or not they're an RPT, because there's a lot of different factors there, but definitely something worth considering. So number 4, and lastly, search for reviews. I recommend doing this along with any of the other methods that I mentioned before. Now, while mentioning reviews, I feel it very important that you look for recent reviews. So if a technician's last review was, say, maybe like 2004, with somebody just saying a basic, maybe like they did a good job, might be an area of concern. So like I said, if someone's out there making people happy and working regularly in the field and doing a good job, they'll have recent reviews. I typically urge people to check and leave reviews on Google, but there's other review sites as well. So in closing, I recommend these 4 different types of methods to find a good piano technician. So pianos cost a lot of money, and a piano that's been in a family for many, many years is a treasured member of that family. So do yourself a favor, do your piano a favor, and protect that member of your family, protect your investment by choosing a competent technician. And if you're happy with the work that you receive from a technician, leave them a review because they've earned it. So thank you for watching, and any comments, questions, snide remarks, leave them below, and as always, stay tuned.